Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope your day and your week are off to a fantastic start. Got a new day, which of course means a new MLB Player Prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. With a new day and a new week comes some new opportunities to go ahead and make some money. I have 4 MLB player props to go ahead and share with you guys in today's MLB slate. Hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend. This is our first video since Friday where we had a very narrow miss on our Freaky Friday 5-leg parlay. 4 to 5 legs cash. It was like a plus 736 parlay. The one last leg was David Hamilton, under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and he had a massive game for Boston that night. So unfortunate miss, but I do think we were in the right direction. It was a lot of pretty much single bets that we had in that game that we just barely missed. So hopefully riding that positive momentum from a near cash on Friday into this week where we can do a lot better and continue to build our record back up. So without further ado, let's dive right into today's picks. Wasting no time, jumping right into the outlier screen, guys. Our first player prop in today's slate comes from the Dodgers-Marlins game, 6:40 p.m. first pitch. I actually have 2 player props coming from this Dodgers-Marlins game. We are starting things off with Mookie Betts over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. A little juiced here, minus 145 on BetMGM. It is available on a couple different sports books for varying odds, but juiced for good reasons. A pretty good matchup here for Mookie Betts. He's cashed the over in 7 of his last 10 games, averaging 3.5 HRRs, that of course being the abbreviation for hits, runs, RBIs per game over the last 10 games. So far this year, a 55% hit rate on the over for Mookie. 17 out of 31 games this year, he's cashed the over, averaging 2.48 HRRs per game this year. And from a head-to-head perspective, the data is pretty solid. 5 of his last 9 matchups with the Miami Marlins, he's cashed the over. That's a 56% hit rate dating back to last year, averaging 2.67 HRRs per game across those last 9 matchups. Now, they played 3 times already so far this year. He has a 100% hit rate, 3-0, not 4-0, 3-0 hit rate so far this year. All 3 times they played, he's cashed the over. And the last time they played on April 30th, not too long ago, they had a really solid game. 2 hits, 2 runs, and 4 RBIs. And all the way, also the Dodgers won all 3 games in that series. So really solid numbers. They also have the insights provided by Outlier. By the way, guys, shout out to Outlier, the sponsor of all of our player prop videos here on the channel. Everything you're seeing in this video, all the data, all the insight, all the information is brought to you by Outlier. Guys, there's so much that Outlier provides, and it truly does make you a better sports bettor. You want to make money in sports betting, you got to have the proper tool by your side, and Outlier is the best tool that money can buy. And the best part is we're giving you guys 7 days free to go ahead and check it out for yourself. So make sure, take advantage of the opportunity. Use that link down below in the description and use your 7-day free trial today. But yeah, the insight provided by Outlier, Mookie Betts has exceeded 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs in 6 of his last 7 games, averaging 4.3 HRRs per game across his last 7 games. And again, really solid matchup here. Mookie Betts, since 2018, 17 plate appearances against Sandy Alcantara, 438 batting average, 471 OBP, a couple home runs in there as well. So pretty good head-to-head data there. Mookie Betts this year overall having a decent year, not a fantastic start to the season, but solid. But his numbers versus right-handed pitchers all do increase, specifically batting average and WRC+. You do see some nice jumps there when he faces off with right-handed pitchers. And then Sandy Alcantara not having 8.31 ERA is pretty bad, but not having a great year, not having, I guess he is having kind of an awful year. Versus right-handed batters, though, you do see some decreases in a lot of these numbers. His ERA, his home runs per 9, and his WOBA, they do all drop. However, his batting average allowed does increase. So even though at these decreased lines, a 6.92 ERA versus right-handed batters, that's still not very good. And even the WOBA, home runs per 9, yeah, they drop, but I'm not too concerned here. Pretty good matchup, really solid data from Mookie Betts. It's the first player prop in today's video. And like I said, guys, sticking with this same game, the second player prop in today's video, we're going Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers over 1.5 bases. This is a plus money play, plus 105 right now over on BetMGM. Again, this is available on multiple sports books for varying odds. And for a plus money play, the data is not half bad. 5 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 2.4 total bases per game over his last 10 games. So far this year, a 52% hit rate on the over for Freddie Freeman. 12 out of 23 games, he's cashed the over, averaging 2.26 total bases per game this season. So like I said, for a plus money play, you'd expect the data to be a little bit worse. It's really not that bad. And from a head-to-head perspective as well, 5 of his last 9 matchups with the Marlins, he's cashed the over. It's a 56% hit rate, averaging 2.56 total bases per game over the last 9 matchups with Miami. And again, they played 3 times this year. He's cashed the over in 2 of those 3 games thus far. And the last time they played 5 total bases back on April 30th. Scrolling down below, a larger sample size than Mookie Betts, although the numbers aren't as good. Much larger sample size to go off of here. Freddie Freeman versus Sandy Alcantara since 2018. 33 plate appearances, 310 batting average, 9 hits, 11 total bases, a couple extra base hits here and there. Freeman this year versus right-handed, now he's having a solid year overall, but versus right-handed pitchers, it gets even better. 400 batting average, 390 BABIP, 436 ISO, 54.5% extra base hit percentage. Across the board, all of his numbers significantly increase when facing off with right-handed pitchers. Those numbers are out of this world, so really good numbers there. And like we had previously mentioned with Sandy Alcantara, right-handed batters, his numbers do actually decrease in a lot of categories, but versus left-handed batters, they increase. A 9.69 ERA versus left-handed batters is abysmal. 479 slugging, a 41.7% extra base hit percentage across the board. Just a really good matchup here for Freddie Freeman. For plus money, I think it's pretty solid value here on this player prop. 2 hits would cash this, or a double, a home run, one extra base hit cashes this, or he has a multi-hit game. I think everything's on the table here across the board. Really good matchup here for Freddie Freeman. All right, guys, our third player prop in today's slate. We're moving on to the Guardians-Nationals game, 6:45 p.m. first pitch. We're going Jake Irvin of the Washington Nationals under 5.5 hits allowed. This is minus 135 over on DraftKings, also available on BetMGM for the same odds. Pretty good value, and honestly, the data is pretty solid. So far this year, 4 out of 7 starts, Jake Irvin has cashed this under. That's a 57% hit rate, averaging 5.29 hits allowed per game this season. And really, if you look at teams not named the Philadelphia Phillies, he's actually been pretty good. The 2 of his cashes of the over were against the Phillies. His first start, he had 7 hits. The most recent start versus the Phillies, 8 hits allowed. So, the Phillies have given him a lot of trouble thus far. But outside of the Phillies, 4 or 5 games this year, he's cashed the under. The only other team that got the over on him was Arizona back on April 4th. So some pretty good numbers there. And even from a head-to-head perspective, small sample size for sure, but the last time he played Cleveland back on June 2nd of last year, he barely cashed the under, but he still cashed the under, giving up 5 hits in that game. So pretty solid data across the board, honestly, here. Looking down below, the insights provided by Outlier, Jake Irvin has failed to exceed 5.5 hits in 4 of his last 5 games, giving up just 4.6 hits allowed per game over the last 5 games. So again, pretty good numbers across the board for Jake Irvin. That last game versus the Phillies definitely skews that average up a little bit more. But look at the matchup, Cleveland versus right-handed pitchers this year. Not exactly the most prolific hitting team. 23rd in batting average, 28th in BABIP. So pretty good numbers, honestly, from a matchup perspective for Jake Irvin. This Guardians batting has not been all that impressive. And although Jake Irvin, yes, he gives up a good number of hits, he actually is still pretty solid. Just 230 batting average allowed. He's in the 77th percentile for BABIP. Overall, not the best data you've ever seen from his side of things. But honestly, it's a pretty good matchup. Cleveland, not the best hitting team versus right-handed pitchers. And Jake Irvin, again, he's cashing this at a 57% hit rate this year. And if you're not named the Philadelphia Phillies, he's cashed it in 4 out of 5. So really good numbers here for Jake Irvin. For minus 135 odds, too, I think it's pretty strong value. We got one more player prop to go ahead and share with you guys in today's video. We are about to hit the 9-minute mark. So if you're still watching this point, please go ahead and comment 9 down below. As always, guys, we appreciate those who watch through each and every single video here on the channel. A lot of hard work goes into these videos, so we do appreciate those who do stick around and listen to me ramble on for 10 plus minutes of video. It really does mean a lot, and it makes me feel like it's worth it to go ahead and do all the extra research and whatnot, because I know that it helps you guys out. So thank you very much. Comment 9 down below if you're still watching at this point. And last but not least, our 4th and final player prop in today's video, we have Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners in the Mariners Athletics game, 10:05 p.m. first pitch. We're going J-Rod under 1.5 total bases. We're getting this one for minus 135 over on DraftKings. Again, it is available on multiple sports books for varying odds. The recent data is just okay. 5 of his last 10 games, he's cashed the under, averaging 1.8 total bases per game over his last 10. However, if we do go ahead and stretch the data out to the entire season view, it's pretty solid. 58% hit rate on the under, 19 out of 33 games. He's cashed the under, averaging 1.55 total bases per game this year. So again, pretty good numbers across the board here for J-Rod. And even from a head-to-head perspective against the Athletics, a very large sample size due to them being division rivals. 11 of his last 17 matchups versus the Athletics, he's cashed the under. That's a 65% hit rate, averaging 1.59 total bases per game over the last 17 matchups dating back to last season. Now, they played 4 times so far this year. He's cashed the under in 3 of those 4 matchups. The last time they played on March 30th, he did cash the over in a big way with 4 total bases. But March 27th, March 28th, and March 29th, he cashed the under in all 3 of those games. And scrolling down below here to the key matchup stats, really not bad data at all. Julio Rodriguez versus Luis Severino since 2018. Kind of a small sample size, just 6 plate appearances since 2018, but he's got nothing really to show for it. 167 OBP, 0 batting average, no hits, nothing off of Luis Severino since 2018. J-Rod not hitting the ball that well, 209 batting average overall this year. Now, in some of the categories, you do see increases versus right-handed pitchers, specifically batting average and BA, BIP. You do see some slight increases there, so he's hitting slightly better against right-handed pitchers than he is left-handed pitchers. But his ISO and his extra base hit percentage do both drop, and again, it's very important here because we're doing with the total bases player prop. In order to cash the over 1.5, you either need to get an extra base hit or get multiple hits. I think either way, it's not looking too good here for J-Rod in this matchup. And Severino, numbers are pretty solid across the board versus right-handed batters, although his ERA does increase a good amount. His batting average allowed, his slugging percentage, and extra base hit percentage all drop by a decent amount when he's facing off with right-handed batters. 205 batting average allowed, 318 slugging, just a 33.3% extra base hit percentage. So pretty good numbers across the board. It's a good matchup. Again, J-Rod cashing at a 58% hit rate this year. I think across the board, really solid player prop. And for minus 135, pretty good value there. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. We'll be back tomorrow with another MLB Player Prop video. But until then, guys, I hope you're all winners. Enjoy your Monday. Let's have a fantastic week. Let's go ahead and make a lot of money this week. Hit a lot of bets. And, yeah, let's go ahead and make a lot of money. Let's go, guys. Let's have a great week.